So our partners and the community came to us a few months ago with some valid concerns. We've seen unprecedented use of the Grimes Creek corridor. With the COVID pandemic going on, I think more people are getting out, which is a good thing. With those folks came some other issues and some problems. The residents looked at this area. It is definitely being used and probably abused a little bit. We worked with the counties who worked with the residents, and they helped determine some areas that we wanted to take some action in. And so once we identified, our partners identified those areas, Boise County Emergency Management, some of the local residents helped us to take a survey, look around here in Grimes Creek and determine what are our areas that have the biggest problems and issues.
Currently, we have a lot of trash. We have a lot of resource damage to the riparian areas and in the creek. And hopefully through this program, we'll be able to correct some of those issues, rehabilitate those areas, and give something for everybody.
The trash and the sanitation is creating water quality problems downstream, for other campers and kids swimming in the creek.
We really want to focus on what's our steps that we're going to take, what's the actions that we're going to do to help clean this place up, to make it something the residents can be proud of. The sheriff's office aren't constantly down here, and the campers themselves, the people that come up here to recreate, can enjoy it more.
We've identified several areas. We also use data from our calls for service and history logs to determine some problem areas within the Grimes Creek corridor. And initially we're starting with a temporary closure order in some of those higher traffic areas in the hopes that we can rehabilitate some of those areas, repair some of the resource damage, and get them cleaned up.
The big concern, and we've dealt with fires before, is the campfires. It's not enough just to stir the fire. I mean, you have to have a bucket, fill it up, and douse that fire to make sure that it's out. Then turn it over with the shovel and just make sure that that fire's out.
First step is we're going to put in a temporary closure order. And then we're going to identify a few routes that we're going to physically close with our partners at Boise County. They're going to come in, they're going to place some physical barriers, and then we're going to watch those areas, maybe do some seeding, some replanting, and try to reestablish some vegetation in there. In doing so, hopefully that will provide that riparian buffer again. It'll give us a little bit of buffer to get campsites out away from the water's edge, where the sanitation issues will decrease. And hopefully we'll come back in later in the fall, plant, reseed, and work with some of the local youth here.
Looking into the future, hopefully we'll be able to use what we've done here and the lessons that we've learned to expand on that within the Grimes Creek corridor and address some other areas, with the ultimate goal of just kind of cleaning up the area, repairing some of the resource damage, and providing an area that people can recreate in safely. We want people to come to Boise County and recreate and enjoy time with their families in the mountains. We just want them to treat it as if it was their own backyard.
I don't think it's just one entity that's going to fix the problem. It's going to be pretty much everybody, the campers that come up here, our partners, the Forest Service, and Boise County law enforcement, the residents. It's going to take all of us to make this a better place to come and camp. Campers encouraging other campers to be responsible, and if other campers or people see really bad behavior, to report it, because that's how we're going to keep this place clean, safe, and just an enjoyable place to come to.
Once we learn from this small-scale work that we've done, how do we work with our residents and apply what we know up and down the corridor? How do we determine what we leave open? How do we determine, if needed, what else we need to close? And then most importantly, working with the residents and working with the county, our internal Forest Service specialists, what do we want the corridor to look like in 2 years from now? What work do we need to do in there to make it so everybody can recreate here that wants to? Everybody has an enjoyable, safe experience. Water quality's high, riparian's healthy, and quite honestly, there's not the sanitation and garbage issues. That's really the next large questions that we have.